Okay, so this is the second session in the Oqthcalian tragedy storyline. For those that might not have seen this one yet, Oqthcalia is the planet that orbits the star Sol. The star Sol is the root of Rune Force's powers in the New Champions Protocol game that all of the players on this miniseries are a part of, myself included. And we are using Brennel's Hero mod. It's in a beta version. It's really cool. It works for us and lots of Unity assets. And I like to be clear, I make some things, but I buy most of it just because it's my hobby. So I consider it the same as people who build models and things like that. I enjoy that. So I'm not really making a lot of these things. I'm buying and editing, and it's much easier to redax than it is to create. But I hope everybody enjoys the storyline. The plot of the story is a tragedy. It's called the Oqthcalian tragedy because the planet it is caught up in the explosion of Sol at the end of the whole storylines. We were kidding. It's kind of like the Titanic, where you know what happens in the end, but the end is what causes Runeforce to get his powers. So I truly hope Kronos doesn't somehow stop it, because then Runeforce would just I don't know what would happen to him. He wouldn't have his powers anymore. But um, the where we last left the session, the three players, Kalon Tar, who is also goes by Stellar Sentinel in the game, Rampage, who plays Kronos, which is a time-based character, and then Ozar of Soul, who's played by Jerry. The three of them were nominated, were called forth from their different casts in Oqthcalian, and they were asked to do recovery of people and assets and things that were left behind in one of the now dark cities in the planet. And the city went dark because on Oqthcalia, their star doesn't. They don't rotate around their star. Well, excuse me, they do rotate around their star. Their planet doesn't rotate, and so they're just dark sides of the planet. Well, the planet ended up rotating just a bit, and because of an eruption from their star, which is slowly dying or quickly dying, I guess. Um, and that rotation of their planet caused a city to go dark. The team was nominated from their casts to go recover assets. They went to go recover assets from a now dark city, and these were like energy cells that they were asked to go recover. And they encountered some kind of unknown before creatures called Throms that gave them fits. But they also encountered a kind of a military um, creature um, that was just tearing through the Throms to get to a particular cell or energy cell. The team intercepted, stopped him from getting it, and captured him actually too, and the energy cell. And that was the end of that scene. Well, this scene picks up right at the end of that, where they've gotten that energy cell. It's much heavier than the other ones. There were like 6 or 7 different energy cells in this abandoned dark sector. They got all the energy cells, and then the one that the kind of the military-esque guy that was there was destroying the Throm, the one he was going after, they got it as well. The team did, but it was just crazy heavy. That's where we ended. So I think there's lots of different things that the team intended to do. First, maybe to talk to the creature that was in the sector, but also to ultimately come back to the commission that sent them and try to get some answers and make some explaining. They've been scheduled or called back um, to the commission to give a testimony of what their activities have been done, but they do have a little bit of time um, to question this. What was his name? Recalin, um, about why was he killing the Thrawn? Why was he there? All that good stuff. So um, we will have a little bit of narrative role play before we get into much of anything else. And who knows, the whole night might be that, depending on just the path that you take. So, players, Kalon Tar, Kronos, and Ozar of Soul, you all are basically standing outside the sector waiting on your official transport to come and get you and bring you back to the commission. And you have all the energy cells, and you have this one Rakar, Lin, you know, creature.
This unknown species.
Yes. He is in official, military-esque garb. And I wouldn't say he's an unknown species. You don't know why he's there. The Throm were unknown species.
Okay. But the Rockland are not. They're known, just not why he's there.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And I think you all even had questions like, well, no, I won't put questions in your mouth. You all figure out what questions you do have. This was clearly your assignment to go to the sector and do the recovery. So, and you all didn't get any other intelligence about any other official people being there. And I think that was actually one of the last things that Kronos did, was he did a time stop and wound back the time to see when this creature came, the other military person. And he was dropped off by,
Rockland.
yeah, Recapture was dropped off by a military transport, real similar to the ones you all were, and came in a different door, and he started making waste of these Throms.
Right.
So
Well,
it was an
he's
official
unconscious
vehicle.
right now. Yeah.
He's still unconscious. Yeah, and it was an official vehicle.
So he's unconscious right now. So I believe while someone's unconscious, you're allowed to take away his armor and stuff like that. But I'd like to do it in a kind of a different way. I would like to do you from another time, which is a minor transform, altering his age and clothing so that it'll be before he put his armor on. So it's basically taking off his armor, which is a focus, if that's possible.
Okay, yep.
So that he doesn't have his weapons.
Yep, I'll give you that. And since we're out of combat, I don't have
All
to
right.
do any rolls. But yeah, so he's still pretty monstrous, but you can tell he's got soft skin and things like that, right? But
You don't
And
recognize him at all.
I'll do
no, you don't recognize him at all. Mm-mm.
then I'll do accelerated healing and bring him back to consciousness.
Okay, so he wakes up.
I've got my.
And I'll say, "Who are you working for? Tell us, and we may let you go before the authorities get here." And I'd like to make a interrogation roll against him.
Okay, why don't you make your roll?
Skills.
Is anybody holding him still or anything like that?
I would probably
No.
be holding him.
So if you want.
Probably standing behind him, at least with my hands on his shoulders.
Okay. Just for kicks and giggles, how strong is the Stellar Sentinel? Pretty strong, right?
65.
Yeah, so you were carrying those cells. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's stronger than.
Am I cutting out for you all at all? Sometimes you all cut out for me. I just want to make sure you're hearing everything okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Rampage is cutting out for me a little bit now.
That's what I was wondering, because it was Rampage that was having a bit of delay, but I could still understand. So you have your interrogation. You beat the roll. He's pretty hardened, but he is going to say, "I work for the same people as you. You have no right to take my armor from me. I was on a mission. My superiors are going to hear about this." He's just furious, and it's in this monstrous, raspy, spitty drawl. He's taking offense.
This. Okay. This was our assignment, not yours.
He says, actually doesn't say anything to that. You didn't ask a question, but he just kind of glances back at you.
Why were you in our sector?
I had an assignment. With the best monstrous rasp. I had an assignment.
Under whose authority?
My orders are from the commission. Excuse me, no. My orders are from the council.
And so were ours. So it would seem that perhaps you or we were being tested to see who would be more successful. But it's surprising that you were sent alone. You must be quite formidable when your suit is on.
He spits, and then he says, "My failure will cost me. My failure may cost my family." He's very, it's an honor broken.
No one need know really of your failure. Perhaps we could
His failure will be known
say that
regardless. We have the crates. He does not.
Oh, your cutout Rampage was too long. We didn't hear anything, and then I think Dorosh spoke over you because of it. We just didn't know you were. Are you?
Yeah, it's annoying. Let me see if I had this problem a couple weeks ago with TeamSpeak.
I didn't.
I mean
Noise
with
cancellation.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it.
where so user settings,
I
voice and
think it's.
video,
Hold on. Where's Discord?
input, output,
So down on the bottom
voice
on the main screen, there's noise suppression right next to the disconnect button.
Yeah, right. Where you have your kind of voice connected video screen. There's like almost like a little mini wavelength.
turned it off. Is it
No, I don't think it's better.
No.
It might be connection.
better now?
No,
I just turned it off.
You chopped out again.
Yeah, as you were telling us, is it better now? Is when it wasn't. So
It's like, is it bet?
yeah. Okay.
That's because he hit the mute button.
Oh, maybe it was the mute. Oh yeah, he is muted and deafened now, so he can't hear us.
Now, yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Is
Better.
it better?
Better.
Or worse? All right, let's try that.
Yeah, let's.
So Kronos will say to him, "No one need know of your of any failure. We could just say that we worked together and we each succeeded in getting the mission and become allies. Perhaps your resources and your skills could add to our team."
He goodness. He says we will not work together, and if much longer goes by where I do not return this energy cell, it can't be hidden anymore. I will have failed.
What is special about this energy cell?
He says
We weren't.
I don't know. I don't know what's inside it. I have one assignment, and I'm giving you all this because of the interrogation role, right? He's you're just like threatening him left and right or whatever convincingly, but he's just giving this to you because of that. But he doesn't know
All right.
what's in it.
We have the box, right?
You do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to it and do a step by through time and see if I can learn anything with my retroclarsentience.
How far
And
back?
time walk by it.
How far back can you go? Like,
It's GM controlled. Whatever you want. I'm
yeah.
not looking to press you on anything.
No, it's okay. So just for story, I'll say, like you do the time walk and you see the darkness come back. You feel the tilt of the planet move in the reverse. You see the sun. You see the city in just total, just normal. You see ages and ages go by. Um, um, and I'm trying to think how far back it would have been placed there. Years and years go by, and it's almost like a disregarded energy cell that's just placed on the street side. Not placed, but like it's just in Oqthcalian cities.
Abandoned.
No, it's not abandoned.
It's like
I'm just
abandoned.
No. In Oqthcalian cities, there are energy cells all over the place. So it's almost like security by obscurity. It's just there, and no one thinks anything different of it. It's like looking at a breaker box. It's just been there.
So no explanation of why it's so much heavier.
Yeah, and you could just keep going for years and years and years back, but you don't ever see anyone come
Don't find
and
anything.
place it. Like it's not some curious
Okay.
thing.
All right. I'll turn off the power.
Yeah.
Is there any interface on the thing?
There was one. It's like a code thing.
All right, I'll examine it. Do I need a systems operations or a computer programming role?
Probably systems operations. If you'll make that roll, and I'll go to the others. But I don't know even systems operations. It's a code, right? It's not.
It's a code.
Yeah, you're not gonna unless you
Okay.
got cryptography or some way, even way to break in and then try different codes. I mean, it's
hmm Does it have a hand scanner on it or a thumbprint scanner on it?
just codes. It's like where you type in very Geordie-esque style, or you're just typing in a no number pad.
hmm
Okay.
Go ahead. And,
Yeah. Kalantar or Ozar of Soul. Do y'all have any thoughts? You see, Kronos. What do you look like, Kronos? Whenever you're kind of lost in the history of time.
well, he looks like he's looking at. I mean, he looks like he looks in his armor. But then you would have the special effect, which I built into the power actually with light illusions.
Oh, so they see
Um,
it. They see all that.
they could see the area that they're flashing through time really quickly.
That's cool. So everyone sees all that. Um, and then the last thing you'd see is him looking at the keypad, I guess, and just trying to figure it out. Stellar Sentinel, I see you at the top of my screen, so I'll go to you next.
So you were given orders by the council. We were given orders by the council. Why would they send in two groups to do this job and not inform the other?
Will you make an intelligence roll? Um, yeah.
That I can do.
I'm just barely succeeded. Um, yeah, just with that, and I mean it's nuanced, so no, I won't. So you're asking this line of questioning.
I'll ask it. I'll say that out loud while talking with this guy. I mean, I hold no enmity towards him. So
Mm-hmm. He did try to attack Kronos, but
again, I have no enmity towards this guy.
yeah. Um, his answer is not cryptic, but it's who knows the council's ways, who knows the workings of the commissions, who knows, who knows. He's obviously dejected because he's vulnerable in his skin suit.
Why is your family at risk?
Well, aren't yours? When you were pulled into these castes, there's very much an honor code toward being in these castes. So, I mean, I think if
I
yeah,
have no family anymore. I I am part of the job. I'm here to teach and to learn,
he
which is why I hold no ill will against you. I know you are doing what was asked of you, just as we are.
he he kind of looks as much as his kind of monstrous face can. He looks pitiful on you. Um, he even asks, "What are you in a reel?" Or what is the yeah? Are you what
Yeah,
are you and it's
yes,
curious because you're covered in armor and tech and you don't look like an Abril. But he was like, how could he doesn't understand? Are you an Abril?
yes. This
Yeah.
is unfortunately my survey suit that was fused to my skin.
Oh, he sighs and it's just this foul smell. But
I have no sense of smell.
oh gosh, you wouldn't even know. You would at least
Lucky
see that
you.
this there's breath. It's like this rank. Well, it's not rank to you, but at least there is a cloud of breath coming out of him. It's clear he pities and has kind of some. Yeah, pity is the right word. At least a softening. How about that? But he tells you my orders are as mysterious as
They appear to be as mysterious as ours. Again, perhaps our test was to see if we could work together. So I'm sorry I punched you.
He says, my orders were specific, and I am alone. I will not, and I cannot work with you. I must have
That
this
is-
energy. I must have this energy cell, and return it to the council.
Well, I think the way things are going, all will be returned to the council. You, the crates.
He
Yes,
So
just
you
we
will
were-
be fulfilling your duty
his
We
head.
were
in a
tasked with
secondary manner.
He hangs his head low. There's no. He's dejected. He can't resolve to what you're saying.
but we were tasked to return six. Six we have here. He was tasked to return one. If we give him the one, we are short, and we have failed.
Mm-hmm.
This is a no-win situation that we have been put in.
I think this is an
That
all-win
depends on the
situation.
judgment of the council. If we tell the council that we didn't want his family to be harmed, so we gave it to him, but we had retrieved it, where's the harm?
So Ozar, of make your intelligence roll. Well, please succeed at your intelligence roll.
Just nope, that's his. Oh, come on! I clicked on you. There it goes.
Y'all aren't. I mean, it's in small detail, and that's the only reason why. But it's obviously hinging on. I will give it to Ozar just because
I succeeded by one.
yours is religious, and you take a lot of like when you got the nomination instruction from the commission, it was an honor, I think, for your character, right? Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so you would remember that day clearly, the moment. And so this is a nuance, and maybe I could have just clarified it as part of the story too. But Ozar, the commission is the one that gave you all the orders to do this. He's talking
Not the
about
council.
not the council. The council,
Okay.
the council hasn't
okay.
been heard from in 6 months, right? Or 6 rotations, right? It's been a long time since the council has given anybody direct orders. Now he may be saying council because everybody gets orders from the council, but you being religious, the moment you got your instructions from the commission. Small distinction, he's saying council, y'all are saying commission.
It's like
Wait,
state
okay.
versus national, right?
Well, in this
So
instance,
we're not
Commissions are be
we're
more
not working for the
local.
same.
well, you
We're
should be. The commissions are commissioned by the council. But the council, that's one of the main themes of this whole story, is that the council has been missing for rotations of the planet around Sol.
the
Right.
council is above the commission,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we got our
Okay.
orders from.
The
the
commission.
commission.
Mission.
Yeah, different.
Gotcha. And he got his orders from.
Well,
The council.
he's saying council.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out a minor
Okay.
word
Got it.
difference that may.
So
Yeah.
we would ask then,
Uh,
when did he get his orders? Because from what we know, the council hasn't been heard from in months.
Yeah, his face had been softened when he was talking with Kalantar, or Stellar Sentinel, but he firms back up and doubles his resolve, and won't speak. He won't answer.
I'll point my gun at his head, put it on killing, and tell him talk or die. Presence attack.
with a weapon.
Oh,
What is that
do
additional?
not.
I'll give you 2 additional dice for that.
My
take an
eyes would
addition-
get large if it wasn't like metal.
I'll take an additional attack for an additional die I'm asking for reputation killer.
Ooh, but do you have that reputation here in this timeline?
I have a negative reputation, killer, very frequent.
Oh, okay. So we'll have to figure out how that fits in because I thought you just joined the timeline. But yeah.
Well, maybe it starts right now.
So do your 3 dice 6 plus your regular presence dice.
Okay, so I've got 25 presents plus 3 makes 7 dice.
Okay.
Correct? No, 8 dice. 8
8
dice.
We were just talking about that whole math thing earlier.
I'm really bad at
Yeah.
really bad at it, and I'm gonna use Stellar Sentinels to
Oh, what a suck roll.
roll
Oh, well.
his.
Pretty average.
Oh no, it's not presence versus presence. It's your roll versus his presence. Like you have
Yes.
to
Oh, it's a
exceed.
presence roll. So what's the bonus?
No, you. So I basically am taking the total that
No,
you rolled above his
right.
presence. Not. It's
Correct.
not a roll versus roll. It's a roll versus stat. Sorry.
Correct.
And it's not enough. You didn't exceed his presence by even 10 points. So
Yeah.
he says I must die. My family's honor is gone.
I'll pull the trigger and shoot a hole next to his head.
Next to it, like not
Yes.
in it. Okay. Yeah, I think he's resolved though. His family's honor is going to be tarnished.
Yeah, obviously. I'm
Yeah.
not going to kill him.
Okay. So you don't gain that reputation today. Yeah. So with that, his resolve is strong. He's not going to betray for whatever honor. I mean, I don't even know. Ozar may have the same. Like when you have an instruction from the council or the commission, if you are religious at all, you're not gonna. It's your faith. You know, he's not gonna break it.
Sure. I get it. Are either one of my partners skilled in opening technological lock boxes? Because I'm not that great at it.
I don't know. It's
Mm.
Ozar. You've had some time to think about. You had, I think, one question going, and you obviously got the distinction between the two. Do you want to add any narrative there, or maybe do some tech things?
He does. He's a pilot. He doesn't. I mean, all I've got is systems operations over and above. That's what he had.
Okay.
He's a pilot. He's used to mashing buttons, but he wouldn't be able to
He's a button
break
masher, not a
codes.
button
Yeah.
maker. Okay.
Right.
Good.
I've got the
Return.
electronic skills and things like that, but I don't have any cryptography or anything like that might assist.
So while you all are waiting, a well, I guess make perception rolls. Oh, awesome.
Okay. Made it by half.
Yeah. So far in the distance, you would see a official vehicle on the approach, and then suddenly turn sharp. And then a couple of seconds later, you see a second official vehicle, and it's your ride coming back. So it's making its way to you. And the official vehicle is going to be there in just a second. So,
Okay.
So the first official vehicle went, "Ooh, not my guy."
yeah, presumably, and left him behind.
Ozar turns to Kronos. Return his armor to him.
Once we've turned
That
him
is
over to the officials, I will.
no. Return it to him now. We shall not turn him over to the officials.
Very well. Kronos dials his distortion device and winds time forward for him personally to put his clothes and armor back on.
Such a cool effect. So are you all are not going to? How are you going to prevent him from doing anything against you? Are you going to say anything? I mean, he's got his armor back. Somebody holding him down or threatening him or what? Because
No.
your official transport has just arrived.
Turn on power.
Uh,
That's what I'm
It
going
would
to do.
appear your ride home decided not to come this way.
He's silent.
Would you care to join us?
He puts his head down and shakes his head. I will not.
All right. Ozar's going to reach out to him, place his hand on his chest, just lightly. I'm not attacking.
Hmm.
May the blessings of soul be upon you and your family. And when he does that, I'm trying to think of what characteristic, because I've got aid, characteristic aid.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of what characteristic to boost.
So you're gonna actually bless him. That's cool.
Yeah. I guess in this case it would probably be his ego, because that's the closest thing to an internal. I'm trying to boost his mood a little bit. I mean, I know it's not gonna,
Yeah, I
but
mean, if you want to do ego and then just have that be the special effect, I think it's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you say that, may the blessings of the soul be with you.
Yeah.
Are you? Is that the very moment that you're doing the blessing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Do.
He says, and oh, how much are you? Are you actually rolling the dice to do it?
Yeah.
So what is that?
15.
And then it's what, 2 points per ego?
Whatever.
Ego is 1 per, so it would be 15 ego.
Did it used to be 2 per?
It used to be based off of the cost of the characteristic.
Okay, I'm so yeah. Anyway, so
I'm not sure what it is now.
I thought
I'm
it
letting y'all that
old.
know the rules better.
So yeah, you definitely boost his spirits, and he says, "Though my life may be forfeit to my family, they may they remain." Right? He's still not thinking he's gonna be making it, but he has some hope for his family. Okay, so
That's all I wanted.
there you
Of
go.
course, he would be englobed in a
Bright light,
yeah, bright light.
bright light.
I
Still very touching, very
like bright
awesome. The official transport gets there. Um, you all load. I assume you load and there are kind of folks that help load the stuff too, so you don't have to do it yourself. It's heavy, but really the fuel cells, they can't get the big one by themselves, so I assume that
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Yep. Um, they the guards, the people that are getting out and helping, look very similar garb to um, Recall-In. So they don't notice him as some out of place person. You know what I mean? So like he's there, they're there, they look just like him, wearing the same garb. They have to load the stuff up. Y'all get in to go. He stands behind. There's a very cinematic view of him standing in the distance with his head down, ashamed, and the transport leaves.
And we just lost Rampage.
Yeah, I was telling him too. I think he's still on the line with us, but your ping on TTS was at 999 for 8 for a while, and then we go back and then go back. So something about connection was bad there.
Okay.
Rampage, are you still with us on the audio? We might have actually lost him just altogether.
Yep. Well, now he's coming back into tabletop. But
Okay, is it? Oh yeah, I see him. Rampage, are you there?
I'm here, but I'm struggling. I don't know why. I got a new router. I don't think it's as good as the old one. My wife upgraded. I think the upgrade was a downgrade because it's been crappy since we got it installed.
Arrgh. I'm sorry, man. Did you hear
I'm gonna,
the unfolding of the last thing?
I didn't, but I'm going to disconnect for a second,
Okay.
and I'm going to reconnect.
Okay. We'll wait. Okay, everybody take a whiskey break. That's what I'm taking.
Was never much of a whiskey drinker.
Well, this isn't really. I guess it's whiskey, but it's. I wish I could promote the brand. I don't even know what it is. It's like a Wyoming. There's a Wyoming. No, it's Denver. It's like ginger whiskey, apple juice, and lemon.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. It comes in a can. You just poured it over ice. So
You kind of spoiled it when you told me that it comes in a can, but you know.
yeah, no. Well, I'm a Scotch neat drinker, so I mean, having it out of a can.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of scotch. I can't drink it. It's too peaty.
Yeah, I think
Brutal.
it's an acquired taste. In any drink like that, you kind of make yourself like it. So,
I don't know. The first time I tried bourbon, I loved it.
well, that is true. My wife's a bourbon. She drinks bourbon. That's Let me give you your character. Do you have your character still? Do you see it?
It is. Yep, it's up.
Interesting. Okay, so I'll
Very
recap
weird.
the narrative. What happened? Um, basically, Ozar blessed the
I heard that part.
and he wouldn't get on the transport to go back with you all, but the guards that were getting off the transport to help you all load the energy cells, they wore the same garb as he did, so they didn't think of him being there any weird. They didn't necessarily know that he was there for a reason or not or whatever. No one, they just didn't ask. And then he didn't get in the transport, and you all did. The doors close, and he, very cinematically is just kind of there in devastation by himself outside of
Okay.
and that's it. That's
I
into that session, that portion. Good.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Were- When we were dropped off, what were those people wearing?
The people that were with you, similar garb, military garb. You recognized
Okay. Okay.
Recapture as military garb. It was just, what's he there for? Why is he there? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So it was still similar to. So this wasn't basically what I'm trying to make sure that I've got my head wrapped around is these were like the same people that dropped us off. Maybe not the same exact ones, but the same people that dropped us off.
Yeah. Same commander, same people. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yep. So y'all are making your way back to the commission, and that's where this scene takes place. You can actually place your tokens on the table here, and that's where we will pick up the next scene. This is cool. I like the kind of the decor of this thing. Again, I did not make this. I try to be careful. I think people think I make too much stuff. I edit things, and I like all the lights and stuff where I move things around or change shaders because I want this or textures, but I'm not painstakingly making all these objects. Gosh. I still think the textures are cool. Like, it's not fun, but so these guards are about a height and a half above you. So they're tall. The same kind of creature as Recapture was, of course. It's this point we were just making. They are standing guard at the door to the hallway. You all just came in the door behind them or behind yourselves.
So these are common like shock troops or military,
Guards, yeah,
like a military race.
No, these. Well, I guess I am using the same race for them. I was more going for the garb. Like
Okay.
they are military, troops that support the kind of the council and the commissions and the kind of
But
the
they're military, so whether they're council, commission, or whatever, they're kind of all under the same military,
yeah,
kind of.
yep. And there's not really a military class. Like there could be, you all could just easily be assigned to the protective guard, right? You all were just assigned to recovering assets. But before it,
Delivery guys.
yeah, but before it, Ozar was doing resource. He was a harvester, and you were an abriel. So I mean, most of the time, abriels don't get pulled into the military to protective order because they're not covered in gear like you are. So okay, so
That thing. Okay. Yep.
you all you have stepped into the commission hall, and this is kind of like an entryway. Your commander and the transport, they leave off. You don't bring in the cells; they are unloading them, and then they say you've been called for a testimony. I don't care to hear. Uh, they basically you've been called and you alone kind of thing. So your commander's not going to come and join you. Um, they
Chicken.
very clear that they're going to go unload these cells. Do you all have any hesitation? I know you wanted to kind of break into one. Um, if they take them, then you're not going to get to do that. But that's their full intention. That's their instruction. Unload these. You kind of have a moment to decide, unless you want to.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have any way of doing it.
Yeah.
Except
While I may be
trying to
curious, I'm not going to
physically
break one
break.
open either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
break
I
ranks
was gonna
right
say
here.
about the only way. I was gonna say about the only way we're gonna get into it is to physically break into it.
Okay, just didn't know if you all wanted to break ranks and try to get into one of those things. So, okay, you all are in the commission hall. Now we're first getting our first good look at Ozar and Stellar Sentinel and Kronos on the screen. Everybody's looking good. I gotta
This
give you.
is the entry from the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you've never been to this. But no, you have. You've been to this building before because this is where you got your commission. So you know that the entryway, you're going to have to go past that big bubble thing. The two guards are guarding the way.
Mm-hmm. And do I remember what the big bubble thing is?
No, it's just decorative.
Okay. Well, then we'll cruise on
Or
over.
Death Sphere. One or the other.
Yeah, you just touch it if you want to, and you find out. You do the
Yeah.
time stop and like see the architects of the someone actually making the fresco. I'm kidding. Okay. So y'all are standing in front of the door,
Yep.
and they are just kind of looking at you nonplussed.
Right.
We have
Walk,
been.
walk towards the door.
Okay.
We have been.
Oh, sorry. You saying something?
Yeah, we have been ordered to appear before the council or the commission.
Okay. He asks for your identities.
I am Ozar of Saul.
Elantar.
Cronus will have his helmet retract into a suit, and he'll say Albus Khan.
They look at each other, and they nod, and they step to the side, and the door opens, and they proceed to follow you in. Just a second. And you all enter to this other facility over here. You see this. I guess I could have moved it and made it to where it actually entered in, but that's basically where you are now. Right.
Where these others are standing also.
So you come in right there. That's right. That's where it leads you. And the guards.
I can't get out of this stupid building.
This is the perfect entangle.
I'm changing my lift height.
It's the best. If you ever want to trap people, you can't get out.
That's it. I've had it
Can you
with
go
you.
to the door?
There we go.
He was stuck in the building. Oh, that's great. So great. He made
Now
it.
he can't get in the other one.
He's been imprisoned.
It's so great. So the
Yeah.
two
We'll
commission.
have no more of your laughter.
I'm sorry, guys. The two commission guards take their place on the left and the right of the commissioners that are forming. It's known you all met these folks once before. They are the three different members of this commission, and there's one from the Khazars, the Wells, and the Briels. And obviously you feel affinity from one that is your people, right? Your people's commissioner. You might even know them from back in the day, and they were elected or brought up. Yeah. So you all are going to basically come and give a testimony of what's happened.
What the heck?
And behind the table.
Can you get there? Is it the
Trying.
eh,
There we go.
I move Sentinel over? Or this is cool. It's actually a cool scene. Very cool. Nope. You had too much to drink.
Face plant.
You're drunk, Ozar. Go home. Let's see if I can get a snapshot of that just because it's cool. Maybe I can. Where is my snipping tool? Here it is. That's cool. Okay, so in this room, they aren't angry. They aren't. This is a friendly group, and even they might even smile at you. They're particularly the ones that are associated with your cast, and they are obviously have curious looks on their face, and they there's a kind of moment of silence. But one of the commission guards says, "Give a report." They're very gruff, and the commissioners kind of like look a little irritated, like, "Come on, you don't have to be like that." And the Abril commissioner, um, the one on the right, um, even speaks fondly to Stellar Sentinel and says, "And what's your name again?" Kalon Tar.
Yes.
Maybe you all have some history, or you all have kind of known each other in the back because you're both the Briels. She looks compassionately on you and says, "Kalon Tar, if that's familiar enough, um, what did you see?"
We entered the sector and encountered an unusual race of people. We also encountered what we have been told, and at least he believes he was sent by the council to retrieve one specific energy crate.
She looks to her right to the Well Commissioner. The Khazar Commissioner gets a little closer, and she says, "Surely he's only being familiar. He received an order from the Commission, but we haven't given any other orders. We sent
Then
you to
that would
sectors."
only
Yeah,
make sense that he was given an order from an alternate source, which would potentially be the council, if
She
you did not give it.
she looks back to the other commissioners and says, "The council, the council." They are just kind of giving each other curious looks. "Surely there was more. Tell us more." the Khazar commissioner is gruff, and says, "My son," he speaks to Ozar, "tell me, was there more? Did you receive the energy cell? Did you retrieve the energy cells?"
Yes, we were able to retrieve all 6. He was tasked with just the heaviest one to retrieve it.
And
I do not understand, but he did keep saying commission.
council, he would say council. You'll say commission.
Council. Yeah, come out. I got it backwards.
Yeah. He's like, well, good.
He
That
did.
means he's working with us. No.
Yes. But he also claimed that his family honor and that his family was in danger if he did not return the one. So it was very confusing.
he says, but you all did retrieve the heaviest one.
Yes,
You
we
did.
did.
They sigh a sigh of relief.
So they know of it.
Yes, they're not saying that to you, but obviously on their faces they had some concern until you've just confirmed that you did retrieve the 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 special one. I regret that their animations are all the same. It looks like they're doing a coordinated dance. That's not what I would have wanted. I'm gonna have to. I can fix that. I just need to do that. Yeah.
It's interesting that they are all 3 exactly done together.
Yeah, and I think it's because I just
Oh
brought them
well.
in the same day anyway. So, yeah, they've
As far as the storyline goes, we were hired to do this job, but what's the overarching reason that we've joined up with or decided to work for them? I mean, I know my personal storyline, but I don't know if it's been revealed here. So give me an idea of why are we just grunts to them, or are we trying to help them for a bigger goal, or do they not have they not told us anything?
Yeah, so it for them, they don't really have a bigger goal. You all were selected to recover the assets after one of the cities went dark, and it was kind of like a search and recovery mission, and they needed people to help. It was not necessarily grunts, but you all were nominated fourth from your casts, or did it out of honor, or it was a not recruitment, but it was an honor to go help recover those things. And there were others that did other cities too. You all just did this sector, but it was not necessarily volunteering. It's you got an instruction from a commission or request, and so you did it. But there's no they need the so and so to do the so and so. It's not a MacGuffin. It was just search and recovery.
Yeah, it's more of a voluntold.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, especially for Ozar because he's he works
Oh,
here.
for Kalon Tar, I mean, we're part of the culture here. Now, I don't know why
Oh, Kronos.
you might be here because you're not from here.
Well,
So,
and I think maybe from Kronos' perspective, these energy cells contain the kind of the stuff. Typically, they contain the stuff of soul, you know. And if you're trying to prevent the destruction of soul, maybe that's an investigative line you would have pursued. Any missions
For sure.
to recover the soul energy cells? I don't know. And maybe you would have known about some of the special ones, but not what they were. That kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
agreed. I mean, if anything that would tie into, I mean, he hasn't he doesn't know enough
Yeah,
yet
he's getting up.
what the cause was.
yeah.
So he's he's trying to find that out.
Well, and that's
So
actually a curious thing too. Of all the things that were captured, the Abriles capture every knowledge. They record everything. But the reason why it was destroyed and how it went down, um, that is just missing from the history books, right? The history records or whatever. It's not missing; it's just not there.
Um, Actually, Ozar may have known how to get into that because he is a miner, and he was actually mining the resources.
I would say
Were they?
it's
Would they?
separate.
Were
It's
they?
like yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, you made it know like the contents of how the energy cells are formed and all that good stuff. But this
Okay.
particular special one is not just your regular run of the mill energy cell, right? The other ones were energy cells. This one's clearly 10 times heavier. It's not a normal. Who knows? It might not even be
Okay.
an energy cell.
Okay.
So when you looked at it, you didn't just immediately know, oh yeah, that's old mining crates. That's nothing like that. No.
Okay.
Okay, so you all have told. Is there anything else on the details you would want to give them from a testimony of um, what you all experienced there?
The other race that I had not encountered before, the the smaller ones,
Oh,
I'm
the
trying to remember,
Throms.
the Throms,
Mm.
um, they had interesting effects on Ozar here when they made contact with him.
Hmm. The
That may be worth additional study.
Yeah, again, the Abriel is just so curious. Her face lights up, new knowledge, something they've never seen before, which is rare. Um,
The concern I have is, why did we face a military resource there? And
the,
he was killing the Throm to get to the large crate.
yeah, the well commissioner who hasn't spoken the whole time. He says that in us there is no deceit. The mission we gave you was pure and it was simple. It was straightforward. We are not aware of an alternative order from the council. He's very very firm in that, but it's
I,
yeah.
of that, I have complete faith. Of the council, I am unsure. They have not made their voice known.
There's a hush. Several of them gasp when you say that. Like no one questions the council. And the Abriel,
I would not counsel. I would not question them if they weren't here.
the Abriel is almost kind of looking at you like, mm-mm, mm-mm. What are you doing? Um, so there may be other kind of minor reports and things that you talk about, the times you enter, the times you in, the number of resources that were used, the and then in a few moments the commissioner guard comes over and speaks to the Khazar commissioner and whispers uh, in his ear a couple of things, and the Khazar commissioner then speaks to you all and says, um, the energy cells have been loaded. They are in a secure location now. We are going to confirm their secure storage.
When he whispered in his ear, I'd like to read lips and see what he said to him.
Oh, can you do that?
I can.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Have
wait,
you
wait,
seen
wait.
their
I
lips?
might be thinking of the wrong character. Hold on. Hold on.
It'd be cool if you did
That
though.
would be a skill. Lip reading. Yeah, there it is.
You have it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's awesome. You rolling it?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. So he says something quietly, and you catch he's kind of covering his
I'll be
hand.
sure not to let on that I'm noticing.
Yeah, but you even though he's covering his mouth, you still capture a couple of kind of lip movements, and one of them is um, underground storage beneath the temple. This is a temple. You're in a temple hall right now, so
Hmm.
I guess the point is they have stored them in this building underneath the temple.
Hmm. All right.
Hopefully they didn't store them too close together. You know what happens when they get close to... Oh, wait, wrong game.
I was like, hold on a second. I didn't do that, did I?
There's not lightning under those military guys, is there?
That's funny. Are they glowing? No, they're not. Oh, that's funny. It's not even the same model. I don't know. It's not. Okay. All right. So that's the end of their kind of testimony for you all. They're going to give you another mission and everything. And the next one is actually on the surface of Sol. And they're going to instruct you to report to the surface of Sol. There are some energy cells there, and some just further instructions for you that we have. Working with the Khazars that are doing harvesting missions on Sol's surface. They appreciate that you all were successful on this mission, so they're basically asking you all if you will continue your service to the Commission on the surface of Sol.
So, scientific nerd question: how do we get to the surface of Sol without becoming cinders?
Yeah, there are. They have like harvesting technology and things that it basically protects them. It's part of their specific technology that they have. It's part of like even the ships that they're on. You land on certain pods that are on the surface, and again, Sol has like dead spots on it too, that are not as hot. They're still hot, but they're not as hot as a star. And so you can go onto those kind of dead spots and then actually go into the core of the sun. It's a weird...
There was a book that had the same sort of thing, or
Really?
what was it?
I kind of thought that it would be unbelievable.
No.
No one can land on
I'm
a
trying to
star.
think. Oh, what the heck book was that? Can't remember.
It was actually in another game. It wasn't Champions, I don't think, but part of the thing was that they had...
yeah, that's what it is. It's in Starfinder.
Huh.
Yeah, the Starfinder universe is actually really cool.
That's cool. So, I mean, this is a big building. They are about to dismiss you to go get on transports to the surface of Sol, but
Can we recreate, feed ourselves first?
sure.
Some hospitality would be, not entertainment, but just a little bit of I mean, we need to refresh ourselves. We can't just go from one mission to the next.
Yeah, that's great. So basically, they will they're offering to pick you up right now, but you can say you would prefer to have a delay, and they will schedule it.
Yeah, 24 hours, whatever.
Yep. Okay.
Are there is there do they have accommodations for us here in the temple, or do they kick us out?
Oh, that's an interesting point. I think there are accommodations here in the hall, not necessarily in the temple, but they would give you kind of lodging, of course. As long as you're serving the commission, you'll have lodging here available here. And there's several different doors. They'll take you down if you want to actually stay here.
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe we can, refresh ourselves, get food. Kronos would love to have access to a library, that kind of thing.
Okay. So they'll lead you to quarters, maybe off to this door over here on the side, the opposite door, and you'll be able to kind of refresh yourself. And they do actually have tomes and things like that, all kinds of records in this building. Ozar, do you would have quarters, I guess, a place to live, but if you wanted to, you're also welcome here, right? All of you all are, and now that you're in service of the commission.
Well, Ozar's quarters was on the ship he was assigned to, and his assignment was changed to this, so
yeah,
he
okay.
would.
Okay, as soon as we're alone, Albus will tell the other two what he found, what he saw the other guy whisper to the council member. Brill. So that Brill was told that the power cells are being kept under the temple.
No, the Khazar.
Oh, Kazar, sorry.
Hmm.
Well, that would make
Not,
sense, I suppose.
it does. But wouldn't they usually want to use them?
The,
I mean, most of these things are useful for the city and for the citizens, right?
perhaps not immediately, though.
True.
It is a resource the Khazar both mine and distribute. So it is being stored until it can be distributed.
However,
So,
the
you're so trusting.
one unusual crate may not have been an energy crate.
No, it
That's
was
true.
different.
Well, if we wanted to find out more, maybe that's where we begin. But then we would also risk, trespassing. I'm gonna, after they have a meal, hit the library and see what kind of research he can find out on the history of these, um, maybe like of the temple or of the different orders or anything that wherever his whatever investigative path he could take.
Sure. Yeah. And are you just wanting a general background, or you have a specific thing you're looking for? Because I can give general cast backgrounds and kind of where they've led to up to this point. It's kind of a tableau of information. But if you also have something specific that you're trying to figure out, maybe I can give some special detail there.
Um, More like historical rumors, that kind of thing of some extreme soul powered cell or anything that's really odd. Maybe that might be hinting towards what that heavier one was.
Hmm.
This the generic everyday information is probably not super useful.
Yeah, okay. So, lots of information about the history of the castes and how the Oqthcalians have kind of been the lords of the system, not just the planet, but the system, just because of the way that they transfer knowledge. You can clearly tell that knowledge is transferred through the Abrials, and the Abrials think very well of themselves and the service that they do, and they've credited themselves as the um, not overtly but kind of subtly, that's the thing that makes the Oqthcalians superior to all the other systems, because every other system's lives are short, and also the Oqthcalians' lives are very short, but they transfer knowledge through the written tomes and through the research of the Abrials. So that's what's made them successful. Um, in the stories, like reverence is paid to the different castes and the service of the Khazars and the service of the Wells and the food production people, and there are festivals and things around the creation of different meals and food types, and there's all kinds of just cultural things that are recorded, even to just like the very last minutia. Um, and I would just say, like, the curious thing, like, they write down, you know, curious things that happen on days and very, very detailed records, right? But just having come from a dark city, um, the thing that I would say you probably notice is there just really isn't anything written down about dark the dark side of Oqthcalia. Just the way that the Abriel commissioner was curious when the Stellar Sentinel talked about the Throm was like just manna, right? There's not anything written down about the dark side or any
Interesting.
knowledge about the dark side of Oqthcalia. It's just not in any
In
of the
in
records. Yeah.
in the Hall of Records or library or whatever you call it, um, is there like a door or access or a glass panel or like something that like is part of the library or the tome of records, but is cordoned off or sealed?
Oh, like the restricted records? Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
so. Yep.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Going to the dark side. Okay. So I will. Do you have any relevant skills as far as research or anything like that? Because I can give you stuff,
Um,
but if you don't, yeah.
yeah, I have some fringe benefits, some that might come in handy.
Okay.
Um, I have security clearance. It's more like governmental security clearance.
Hmm. And is that just because of your space and time you've
Yeah,
granted
I mean,
yourself?
I'm here on a mission, right? I'm supposed to be figuring out how to. Well, actually, it's a self-imposed mission.
Okay.
I'm here to stop the destruction of the planet against the Time Master's wishes,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So they say let time flow as it's supposed to, and the destruction is inevitable. I see three planets with races that shouldn't be wiped out, so I've broken away, and that's why they're hunting me.
Okay, this is cool. I have a thing that I can offer after this, but I want to give Kaelan and Ozar an opportunity. So I will come back and have a bit of a kind of a nugget because of that interesting. So security clearance. So like you go into the restricted section and your future time self gave yourself access to these records.
Hmm.
And not just these, but like all kinds of other records, and I guess I'll just use that as it suits the story because it's interesting. So you'll be like pouring through restricted information. Um, do you have any ability not to be perceived? Like you're in a restricted area. Do you have stealth or something like that?
I do have stealth, and yeah,
Get your well-rounded character.
let me make a stealth roll for you.
And I'm coming to Ozar next if you have some things that you're wanting to consider while you're on site. Actually, Kalon and Tar, since I've well, no, Ozar. Sorry. Okay, so you stay out of the reach. You're very quiet on the, no books dropping or candles crashing or anything like that. Okay, Ozar of Soul. You find your new quarters. You hear obviously what Kronos has shared with the secret underground storage facility of the energy cells. Um, the thing that's curious to you about that would be that energy cells aren't stored by the Commission; they're stored by the Khazars. Like the Khazars have storage facilities for that. The Commission wouldn't. The temple, no, that's not where you would keep that stuff. It's almost not property, but it's like, well, that's not normal. I mean, I know you said earlier that the Commission is going to do what the Commission is going to do, but that's just, and you can still have that kind of conviction, but you would at least know in yourself that you had overridden the cognitive dissonance of, we never let
Yeah,
our energy cells out of our reach. Why?
yeah,
He would tell the Khazar, yeah, that's right, but it wouldn't be under the Commissioner Temple. Almost like
right,
division of duties, like you don't have the Supreme Court doing a thing in the executive branch. Nah, that's weird.
right. Um, since he doesn't really need to eat or sleep, uh,
So convenient.
well, yeah, well, he only has to eat once a week and only has to have 8 hours sleep once a week. So, um, he'll roam and just walk around like he's in a meditative state,
Okay.
but he's not actually meditating. Um, and we'll try to find, where access to the underground area is
Okay.
and pay attention to. I mean, obviously, he's not going to be allowed in, but what he's looking at is what, who, and what are actually guarding the entrance,
Okay.
or so just basically trying to see if he can quell the curiosity, the
Why is it here?
yeah, the duplicity of the situation.
Okay. So I will say, you've kind of been wandering around the temple, and being the religious Khazar that you are, You're drawn to the actual altar, um, um, maybe even impulsively, like the altar is back here, and this is one of the finest altars. You've heard of it. You want to go see it, kind of like Abraham, not Abraham, the Abe Lincoln, the monument or that kind of thing. So kind of back here into this room, you would walk through. As you are kind of making your way in that room, one of the commissioner's guards raises his voice and says, "Halt!" And but at the same time, the Khazar commissioner um, allows it. So they're basically saying they don't typically let people back here, but your devotion and your faith are kind of, so you're in this temple area. All right, why is it not letting you stand? There you go. So you're in this temple area, and it's beautiful, and it's almost like an alive feeling, like an electric feeling. You just feel almost like the charged pressure of the air in here. Um, you know, for lack of feeling the spirit of soul in this room.
Okay.
Once you're in the room, it probably gets your attention, right? You're not just kind of blithely walking around. You see this altar, you see this, diamond portal.
Kind of Wizard of Oz-ish.
Yeah, pay no attention to the.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I think I love the lighting of this room too. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's nice. He'll go ahead and go up and reverently touch the portal.
Oh, where are you going to touch the portal at?
Bad touch. See?
From my
He
back.
fell over.
No. Yeah. Just right in the middle.
Hold on a second, really? Where, like the portal itself, or the, like where are you touching it? Is this a friendly touch, or is this a? I'm kidding, but I do need to
Well,
know where
yeah,
you're
yeah,
touching.
a reverent touch.
Well,
And
but
where
where are you touching in the portal? Or are you touching the kind of surrounding? What are you?
dead center.
Really? Just to the kind of like the glossy, floaty stuff?
Like
Yes.
Is that
He'll place his hand towards it.
okay? One second. Do y'all mind moving your floaty hands from that area? I'm trying to take a non-weird snap. I wish there was a way in tabletop to. I still see blue, but I'll work with it. I wish there was a way to hide hands. Yellow is still there too. It's weird. I'll just go with it. But I wish there was a way to hide hands, because it's.
Is my hand out of the way now?
It's totally good now. Cool photo. Okay, so you touch that portal, right? And your hand goes through it. I assume you're like touching right in the middle of the kind of floaty stuff, so your hand passes through it.
All right, his eyes will widen a little bit because he expected more of a resistance.
No,
not
but
necessarily
But surely this is like an amazing feeling, like just the religious experience of passing your hand through the temple of soul. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what he would be expecting is some resistance. I mean, I'm sure there was some, but I mean, he was expecting more of a solid surface, not necessarily a passing through it.
Yeah, it's like it's not solid.
Right.
In case your hand passes through, you take it back out. Do you plunge it further?
Yeah,
What do you,
slowly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it goes through, he's going to pull it back out. Didn't feel any damage. It's still all there. He'll go ahead and excuse me. Slowly push it a little bit further, see if there's any resistance or anything like that.
You feel something wet and I'm kidding. No, there isn't. You don't feel anything further, but you're just like pushing your arm through. How far are you pushing it through? You don't feel. Well, how far are you
Well, I
pushing
guess
your arm through? Yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at. And what are you doing? Are you like feeling to the right and to the left, or are you just pushing it straight?
pretty much just pushing it straight, and
Okay.
then we'll eventually, because he gets there, his face.
His what? His face?
Yes.
Okay.
See what's on the other side.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hold for that. Which is really interesting that you actually pushed your face through an unknown temple portal. Just awesome.
That's faith.
Yeah, that is definitely faith, man. Surely there's nothing in here that could chop my head off.
Chop your head off? No, but that big tentacle thing that's on the other side? No.
this is how Cthulhu gets introduced into the. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so Ozar of Soul has on faith thrust his head through a temple portal. Rampage, and what's Rampage's character's name? Album, what would you say?
If you mouse over the character, you'll see it.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Albus Khan.
Albus Khan is researching in a restricted area of the temple tomes, and Kalantar. You are also offered lodging. After a long conversation with your Abriel counterpart, was just excited about everything and chastised you kind of, but still friendly. It's like a collegial about questioning the commission or the council, but privately she even says, we ourselves question their absence is cause for concern. Did the one, and she's quiet, did the one actually mention the council? Did they mention it instead of the commission? Do you think it was a mistake? She's got 1,000 questions for you.
I'll do what I can to answer her questions and say he seemed very insistent that it was the council and that he was sent on the mission to retrieve that one crate, which in all candor did not appear to be a normal energy crate.
She, as long as you're not with the rest, she even says, our allegiances, once we become a part of the commission, sure, we leave behind our castes and our families, but I must tell you, as an Abriel to another Abriel, these energy crates, of course we need them, but our intention is to capture all of the stored energies and stop mining the surface of soul. Right, and she basically says, these there has been so much mining over the eons, we could stop. And it's almost like just a incredulousness. We've known, and it's something that you would have known too. We've known for eons that our mining activities would destroy the star and destroy the planet, the system, the unit. I mean, so we hope that by recovering any of the stored energy cells that are not connected to the to the grid or whatever, that we can reduce our mining needs. But she says, but these dark cells, we expect them to contain knowledge. We expect them to contain tomes of knowledge that we've never seen. And so that's what we think, but we don't know. So she tells you
that crate be opened.
She's not actually willing to tell you that. She was like, we will open them in due time, But as all Abriels would know, there is some knowledge that is not for us to know. And she's referring to dark side knowledge. That seems so cliche, but like, the dark side of the planet, knowledge about things on the dark side of the planet, they don't have that knowledge, and she expects that the cells contain that type of that information.
I hope so. Um, it does concern me that the council would be acting and not necessarily communicating with you in your area.
She her face is sad, and she says, just a full agreement. I would agree. It is not only devastating for those whom we've placed our trust, but it is also, what is the word when you lose faith? Not disheartening, but it makes her lose faith.
Will there be any investigation? The person that we left behind stayed there, as far as I know. For how long? I do not know.
She says, as the commission, there isn't she's not comfortable broaching it with the other commissioners, and just the oddness of it is not something she's willing to broach. But she says, if you are willing to investigate and not be seen, and never speak of this conversation, certainly there is truth, and that's what we are about as Abriels, to find the truth. But she's just not
I
willing
agree.
to. She's just not willing to. She doesn't trust her commissioner members well enough. She's not gonna try to commission an investigation of the council. That just doesn't work. That's not the way it works. She's obviously feeling confident in sharing this with you, and the whole conflict of council and commission. The even the mention of the council is something that was she definitely wasn't expecting. None of them were. So
Right. We are in somewhat of a dilemma then. We can't question the council, but at the same time, we can't get answers from the council.
we can't even see. We don't even know where they are.
Exactly.
She says, we will have missions that are normal for you, to the recovery of resources, the distribution of resources back to Soul, the basically resource and asset recovery. But any other time that you're able to get answers, you're welcome here.
One thing I would be concerned about is that if the council did send that person to recover the crate without your knowledge, it may be something they are willing to further expend resources on to acquire, which may mean it may not be safe.
You're talking about a betrayal of the council against the commission. There is no such thing. She just can't fathom that the council would make them unsafe. She's willing to question why they would have done it, to have someone else go
They
after.
may be doing it for what they believe is our benefit, but at the same time, they're not communicating with that.
Yeah, she says it has to be that way. Has to be.
Sometimes I question our ways. Our ways have put us in this predicament to begin with.
She says, and you of all people who have sacrificed so much, you surely can question. She's like, you deserve it. You to be trapped in this. She's not going to say that on the nose like that, but she definitely has the attitude that you deserve it. Deserve to question. Okay.
We all want is what is best for us.
So, Albus, is that right? I see it on the thing now. We still haven't.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, nope, not going there. It wasn't going to do it. Albus Khan, are you able to get out of the thing? Are you? Your left hide's still
Give me permissions that I'll gizmo him out, but he keeps on hitting the wall.
I just like burst him through. I don't. Where do you actually want him at?
Oh, he wasn't in the room, so I was just saying take him out.
That is crazy. Why does he? Oh, he doesn't have auto lift.
Oh, is that the problem? Yeah, I think I was told that before.
Yeah, auto raise.
Auto lift. Where the hell is it? Auto raise. Day.
Yeah.
Oh, so much easier.
Oh gosh, I was like, I know there are open colliders here. Why is this not working? Okay. So
Yes.
It's
a hard one to remember. When you're setting up your character or your stuff. It's so remote, right? I'm gonna write myself a note.
So you found yourself in the restricted section, and the curious thing that there was never any knowledge written down about the dark side. You would find that the restricted section does have things about the dark side. It's got notes about the Throm that you all just witnessed, and it explains. You find a document about the Throm, and it says that they have immense. It's almost like and maybe there's like some lore or rumor or documented that maybe Throm are, and this is maybe Throm are previous Abriels who have had some types of accidents, or they surely have the knowledge of all Abriel kind, and the sparse records they have and the dark knowledge of Throms is that knowledge has poisoned them, made it to where they can't speak and but they do communicate telepathically. So you read things about the Throm. There are, on the dark sides, there are, like in the dark cities on the other side, you read that there are, like not information tomes, but like similar cells, and they're not in those cells, but they're like, what would you call them? It's not like server racks, but like physical manifestations of knowledge in the dark cities. And they are there. They've been there for ages, but they're not a real knowledge, and so there's not a lot known about it. But this does exist, and people have found them whenever they do recoveries when there are access turns, and so this was one of the things. Surely this was one of the things that y'all were going to try to get was, one of these dark tomes inside an energy cell. The real question would be why would there have been a dark tome in a normal city that just went dark, right? The typical is that in the dark cities that this knowledge of darkness is stored out there, and the kind of the creatures and the worlds of the dark sides of the planet. But you all just went to do a recovery of a light city, a normal city that went dark because of a move. So that's just an odd one, but still, that finding physical manifestations of knowledge on the dark side, and even their heaviness, almost like the heaviness of some metal or some alloy that contains the knowledge, some weird thing. That's
And does the tomes themselves can they be detected differently from the outside than a light side tome? Is there some besides their weight? Is there some other difference, or can they be tracked or anything like that?
Well, there's no such thing as a light side tome. Like the information about regular normal Oqthcalian behaviors is just in libraries and books and things like that. This whole idea of dark side, if you could imagine like the 2001 Space Odyssey, the obelisk, that's what I'm envisioning is these dark side tomes. They're enormous, they're massive, and the conclusion would be that these are all throughout the dark side.
Right, but so the power cells there are still power cells on the dark side that we're trying to recover when we know where they are.
Well,
the reason we knew where those ones were was because that city recently went to the dark side.
That's right. It's exactly
because
right.
of the rotation.
That's right.
In other cities on the dark side, are there still cells?
No.
Power cells.
No.
They've all been recovered.
Well, most of the planet's been dark since forever. It's only the recovery was because this was just a normal city, and so you wanted resources.
A possible assumption may be then, or an explanation may be then, that heavier tome, that unique tome, may not be unique. There may be some more of those in every city.
That's a very good deduction, right? That there, you just found one because you were doing a search and recovery, but if you searched all of the surface of light side, you're just picking up energy cells, you might find one that was really heavy, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like if there's one of those in every sector or every town, it may be there for a reason. I'd like to know what that secret reason is. Maybe they're necessary to make the other energy cells work. They may not function, or they may become unstable unless there's some negative to the positive.
That's an interesting thought. There's not any recorded knowledge about them, and the energy cells that you normally have, they work. I mean, there's nothing else needed for them to work. The true unknown is what this whole dark tomes, obelisk type of things that contain knowledge. No one had ever known about that. You heard about it just from reading this, and I guess you're making a conclusion that that's inside this heavy energy cell. But that the book you're reading, or whatever the record you're reading about these dark tomes, that's separate. That's just you just came across a whole record on knowledge that is kind of protected off. Even the Abriels don't really know about it.
Right. Then again, before I spend too much time inside of this restricted area where I really don't belong, I want to see if I can find anything on the commission or on the council. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah. So there are kind of like journals that are kept around like the council's activities, and the last one was 6 rotations ago, and there are some like minutes where commissions have considered like trying to form a new council, or should they go and try to find the old council, and there's kind of a consensus that in the next rotation the next rotation of the planet around Sol, they're gonna kind of hold a convening of the various commissions and make a new council.
But no clue on where the old one went to, or if they're hiding for a reason.
Nope, nothing there. I mean, it's
what was the leader of the council's name? The highest ranking guy.
Well, so the 3 would be each from a Briel, a Khazar, and a Well. So there wouldn't have been one.
I see. So there would have been 3.
Yep, the council is very formed just like these commissions, but they're just.
You don't have to give me the names. I just want to have it for future reference.
Yeah, there would have been the most senior Khazar, the most senior Well, the most senior.
All right, I'll slip out of the restricted area before I get caught.
Okay, sounds cool. All right. Back to Ozar of Sol. Ozar, when you stick your head through, you see a room and a hallway and a passage, and it's like there's a passage here. Do you put on the cursed ring?
My precious sis. Interesting.
Man.
Step on through.
That sounds way safer than the tentacle option.
Okay, so you're gonna find yourself. So you fully step through. Okay. One second. Where is my? So you are now.
Up here? No.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. That's right.
Oop,
Can I not get
oop,
you
oop.
there? Well, you're not on top of the hallway. You're in it.
The GM is prepared. Wow.
Trying, guys. I'm real trying. I also delayed this session by 3 weeks, I think. So can't get you in there. Why? There you go.
Try the auto raise function.
Touche, man. Touche.
Boop. Whoops. Those are your drunk.
Ozar's always drinking too
Close
much.
enough.
Oh man, don't flip over the energy cells.
He's going to walk down those stairs eventually anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Trying to turn him. I keep moving sideways instead.
Just dropped it.
Turn. There we go.
Oh, he's gonna fall off the edge.
Damn it.
He is underground,
Whoa.
so technically he can't fall. Okay,
Oh, there we
so
go.
you see yourself in this hallway. I'll give you a couple of actions just because it's so cool down here with the little spinning light and everything.
There, we're perfect. Oh, right there.
Can you get in there? Hey,
Oh, yes.
Hey,
let's just stay right there. Oh, what's happening?
I was
Okay.
turning him,
Oh, I
and
thought
he
she
was
was.
probably hitting a wall.
I thought he was like falling or something.
Hey, guess what? There's our energy cells.
You don't
Some of them,
see
at any rate.
this.
Oh, yeah. No, Kronos. I don't think we should go down there.
Okay, Ozar Soul, you have made your way into some narrow hallway and kind of walked down the stairs a little bit. You can see down
Oh,
in the.
cool! I got a shadow on the wall.
Do you really?
Yeah. Look
Oh, that's
through the side.
cool. That's cool. I'm gonna get. That's just awesome. That's cool. Okay, so
Your
you.
lighting system worked.
Yeah, and now honestly, I had to buy a whole new system so that I could properly do light probes or reflection probes. But anyway.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah, man, it makes the game cool, I think. So you're in this hallway with wonderful
Floating
light.
above the stairs.
With
Well, I mean, actually, he could, because he does fly. He
I have-
could actually be floating above the stairs. Go ahead.
So
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
hush you now.
no, it's okay. So I mean, you are definitely curious. This is underneath the temple, so I'm sure you feel affinity of it. You feel the energy of the temple, and I don't know that you can yet see into the room down there. So I mean, do you get closer? Do you go down further?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if
So
I'll be able to move him, but
yeah, let's see.
Hmm.
Is first person better or? How far down you going?
yeah, so he can see in.
Okay, I'm first personing this. No, I didn't.
Hope you can rock some stealth.
Oh goodness.
He doesn't have stealth.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
um,
Hey, is there a bathroom around here?
oh, that's great.
I'm sure the guy in there knows.
Yeah, it's like,
Not necessarily.
we just
I haven't been
hold
talking.
we just hold it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You guys have to go to the bathroom?
Oh, or Sentinel over here doesn't ever have to. Okay, so yeah, how far are you going down? I mean, this matters. So what are you doing?
Down to the floor so I can see in. At first, not necessarily all the way through, but to the landing there.
Okay. And actually, we're about to wrap up. So you walk down into the landing, and the Dark Knowledge Master, and you wouldn't know that's what he's called, but it's
Here,
kind of.
promote me, and I'll gizmo tool him in there.
Oh, I didn't know you weren't promoted the whole time. Interesting. Oh, after you.
Remember, I
Yeah,
got dropped out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you walk down into the room, and just even your steps on the floor echo, and this just creature of the likes you have never seen before, except if you're in the New Champions Protocol and ever faced escaped mutants from the what was that scene?
The asylum.
From the asylum. It is the same thing.
Unfortunately, that was just before my time.
So it's just totally new to you. I didn't get to use those tunes very much, and I wanted to because they were so cool. So anyway, this creature turns and looks at you, and he says, not angrily but very forcefully, "What are you doing here, my child?"
Soul has led me here.
So he starts to walk toward you. Are you going to walk toward him, or are you going to stay where you are?
Yeah, I'll move a little closer, but I'm also activating all of my defenses.
Okay.
So
I'll move him.
Thank
a
you very
field,
much.
a field.
There. How
kind
far
of.
do you want to go in?
That's good.
So you move close to him, and he raises his hand to you as he walks close. Oh, no, no. But man, you work better on the colliders of this room. But God Lord, it's just a moment. So
Close enough.
as he raises his arms and he's pointing at you, and he walks close, but as he walks near to the energy cells, like he gets right between them, he and the energy cells start to phase, like you can tell that they're starting to disappear. And he's got a totally
Beef.
surprised look on his face, like, what's happening to me? You can see he's looking at his arms and his hands, and he's disappearing, and he's just like, what in the world?
Okay.
You have about a second or two before he and they fully disappear.
Okay. Okay.
Very Scotty beam me up
Yeah.
moment. You can see the particles, moving where they're being beamed.
Fly into him and try to grab him.
Okay, so
and basically try to get him from between them. If he's still solid enough, I figure probably if he's being teleported somewhere, I'm going with him.
Okay, so are you just trying to kind of hit him, push him, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Push him out from between them.
Okay. So that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I like the flying effect for your character. That's cool. So for the story, don't roll. You hit him and knock him back to the wall, and you both are back to the wall. And in that split second, the cells disappear. But you prevented him from going, and you and he are standing in the underground basement. So he was coming toward you and got in the way of the field, got in the range of the kind of the teleporting field. You pushed him out of it, but those things still got.
Right, yeah.
So there you go. I think that's the end of it for us tonight. You a lot of kind of knowledge share movement of the story too. Do you have any particular questions or things that just weren't clear? Because I think it sets up a lot of what's happening next.
Well, to the guy, yeah, understood. To the guy, it's like, you did not want to disappear, did you?
Oh, and he's no, not at all. He's thankful, but he's also thinking, I thought you were disappearing. I thought you were stealing. He says, what is this? Why are you here? He's so confused. He's asking 1,000 questions.
Yeah. I was part of the members that collected these and brought them to this building. Were these the heavier ones?
Yes.
I wish them returned.
Yes, one of
I
them
wish
was
them
that.
returned also. I wish them returned also. Someone has stolen
Someone has poisoned
what
the
is
water.
rightfully. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Very cool statement.
There's a snake in my boot. Anyway, someone is taking the Khazar's role and attempting to control the resources outside of the cast. This cannot stand. Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, any questions about kind of what's unfolded or anything that didn't jive? Because it's going to be
No,
a
it's
while.
cool.
So
It's
you,
cool. I absolutely love the fact that we had some real interesting like role play
yeah,
and no combat. I mean, I like combat, but it's good to have a break too and get to be able to do some role playing and
yeah,
investigation work. It's very fun.
yeah. I had a combat
Storytelling.
scene. I had a combat scene ready for tonight, and it was just that the storytelling was just we were having. I thought we were having fun, so I just didn't push it to get to the combat. So
Hey, this way we extend our overall playtime.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. There's
I like it.
one more session. Yeah. So I mean, just kind of like as far as the story arcs are concerned, clearly two um, kind of lines of what's happening. You know, the commission um, trying to recover energy and stop over mining the soul so that it cannot be exploded eventually. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and but then something, and that I don't know that you all would make that connection, or even if it's a true connection to be made, but something is stealing these energy cells from them, more particularly the ones that have the heaviness to them. And I guess you know if Albus Khan um, speaks it, maybe there's a connection to be made that these heavy ones could contain the kind of the darkness tomes, the obelisks of information. But there's a whole, why are those even important? Um, if it's not just about energy conservation, then what in the world are these heavy ones about? That I don't
Maybe in this universe, energy is not power, but energy is knowledge.
think. But I think those are the two main kind of storylines that are competing. Still very much on the theme of the why. Where is the council? What are they doing? Why did they instruct somebody to get the kind of the heavy one, which presumably has a darkness tome in it?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that?
Yeah,
And
agreed.
Jason,
yeah,
how can we have two games at the same time?
do we have two games at the same time?
Yeah, you moved the
Oh,
resistance to the first.
no, it did it. It did an auto. It did an auto.
Okay.
I'll just have to move this to the next week, like the 8th or something like that, if y'all are cool for that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if you don't
I
mind,
was just trying to figure out.
no, I don't want to. I mean, I'm gonna stop the recording just a second.
Sorry.
Oh, right. No, I hope I recorded that.